Hi, it's James Joseph Silva Sandoval, 9 Rancho Drive, Shelbyville, Tennessee. Also victim of rape, sodomy, multiple aggravated assaults. So in March 9th, 2022, Bedford County Sheriff's Department picked me up and very calmly took me to the jail, booked me in under the wrong social security number. I had time built up already at the Shelbyville Police Department, and they kept me underneath it. I mean, they put me under a different social so it wouldn't kick me out of the system. While I was incarcerated, they served me with another fake warrant. I was beaten multiple times with a broomstick, raped with a mop stick, and also all my inmate rights were disregarded. But I wanted to talk about what I did while I was in Kpod. Alright, so I was also denied a job to the workhouse, and the people in Kpod or the main culprits in Kpod of all this that happened. They really just played cards. So what I did was walk. I just woke up from a nap, trying to get the phone before my dad goes to sleep. So I walked, read. I used the kiosk in between while they slept, because they stayed up all night. And but they were like, they could get anything, you know what I mean? Like they can get any reaction from the COs. They can get pussy from the nurse. I mean, all they did was smack their hands on the table every time they threw a spade down in a way that activates or triggers some kind of neural network in there. Some kind of neural network. I know this sounds fucking like far out conspiracy or something, but they actually use magnetics inside the jail. And so they actually use electromagnetics in the jail and some kind of extraterrestrial tools, I guess. Fuck, I don't know. It's hard to explain some of the shit that goes on. So those dudes that was in there, I don't want to say their name because I don't want them to steal my channel because of intellectual property or them get a warrant filed on me and, you know, take my butt again. Something I don't want happen. I even asked Rockstar on Twitter. I was like, hey, why don't y'all just make a mini game and pay these guys in Kpod for doing what they did? And just all they did was smack the table, activate some electromagnetics. It nearly warped all of our brains. Got my butt taken multiple times. They all worked together to hurt my feelings. Like whenever they tried to test my COVID vaccinations with their strain or whatever. And of course they use manipulation and deception. And when I got back, oh man, boy, they all had to have a mask. They all looked at me like I was the problem. Well, they all got, put emphasis on everything. They hit the button, beep. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit. I know that doesn't explain it, but wait until I get the video to show you everybody's reaction and how they operate, triggering this neural network. The way they smack the table. When they smack the table, like, it literally triggers a fucking reaction from some kind of extraterrestrial shit that I've never heard of. And on my @Majestic9 account on Twitter, I attempt to explain what's going on and what this neural network, this extraterrestrial bullshit looks like. And since I'm recording myself and looking stupid, bobbing back and forth, walking to the mailbox, I actually got a response from the Tennessee Human Rights Commission. Surprisingly, they couldn't intake me, of course. What it is after I got out of prison, Michelle Swing, which is Austin Swing's daughter, and Austin Swing is the sheriff of the Bedford County Sheriff's Department, who, while I was under investigation before I got indicted in 2004 when I was 17, she brought in this fucking pistol. She come to buy some crack. I didn't sell her crack. I knew who she was. She brought this fucking pistol. She brought this pistol with the, it was like a 45 with some kind of high-powered fucking scope on it. And, you know, I reported to the TBI. And when I got out, what they did after I turned myself in to do my time as a juvenile, what they did was throw me in the cell with an adult, knowing that I'm 17. I only spent one day in the jail. My granny brought me, you know, hygiene, clothes, everything I needed. They actually shipped me off before she could hand those to the people at the front to hand to me. And so when I got to jail, when I got to Brushy Mountain, they did the same thing. Threw me in the holding cell with an adult and a whole bunch of other shit. Like, it's in my grievances, you know, which I won't ever get to access. But when I got home, I mean, from Tiptonville, Northwest Correctional Annex, the juvenile building we was in, I filed a Department of Justice civil rights complaint, and they've been embezzling money on top of that complaint on the back end since 2004, and they don't want to come clean about it. So all that jumbled mess is the truth, and it might seem like I can't talk or explain myself like an adult, but I surely can. I just woke up. I had a headache. I took some NyQuil, and, you know, I had a headache. I pissed off the racketeers at the store because my daddy gets off at 1:45, and I walked over there, you know, and waited on him outside. And I also went in his room and drank one of his Cokes, and it was the last one. So when he pulled up, I was smoking a cigarette. He's like, "What are you doing?" I told him I was smoking a cigarette, and I went in there and, like an adult, grabbed a Coke. I got his beer for him, and I put my Excedrin on the table, and I was like, "That's why I'm here. That right there, the Excedrin. That's why I'm here." So they rang it up, and I grabbed it off the table and took off walking. One little juvenile dude behind me was looking at me like, "Wow, that dude's a fucking badass. I wonder if I can sneak a pack of cigarettes up there," you know what I mean?